All right, friends, today we're going to discuss how you can train longer without tapping. This is an invaluable piece of wisdom that I have accrued from 15 years in Jiu Jitsu that I don't see many people do. So, my name is Chris Matakas. I am a Jiu Jitsu black belt, a school owner. I've written 13 books about using Jiu Jitsu as a vehicle for personal development. And today I want to discuss how you can train longer without tapping and make reliable, repeatable success in every position. So, here's a general rule, right? You want to move as little as you possibly can in jujitsu. Now, there are different styles of jujitsu, and what I'm talking about specifically is what we'll call desert island jujitsu. The goal being you're locked in a room with someone or you're locked on a desert island with somebody and you're engaged and only one of you gets to win. So there's no time limit, there's no scoreboard. You're going to take as long as is necessary for you to safely end the fight, which means you're going to be hyper conservative because you're going to be conserving your energy. And I think if we follow that metaphor and we bring that into our training, you tend to always do the right things. And one of the right things that we always should do that rarely do is you want to move as little as possible. In general, the person who moves first loses. Think about it. If you are in an advantaged position where you have the advantage, maybe you're mounted on somebody, you got their elbows isolated away from their body, and you kind of reach like a stalemate in that minute position. Generally, if your partner moves first, that becomes your entry to advanced position. And conversely, if you're on bottom, if you're mounted, your elbows are away from your body. If your partner tries to force it in advance in a moment where you guys are kind of at a stalemate, it tends to be the space they create is your opening to escape. So I've kind of settled into this kind of hard and fast rule of like whoever moves first loses. And it tends to work out. That reactive approach to jujitsu allows you to conserve energy and get submitted a lot less. So you do roll longer and you tap less. There's a joke in my academy that if I ever had to like compete against myself, we would just stand there and look at each other until someone fell over 3 days later from like dehydration because of how I live by this hard and fast rule. And it has served me really well training with ADCC champions, training with brand new white belts. The goal is to move as little as humanly possible. And if you can do that, if you can always be in positions where you give yourself the opportunity to react to your partner's movement in a way where their attempt to advance creates an opening for your advancement, that is a lifeline that will bring you through jiu-jitsu from white to black belt. So I would issue this as like a permission slip because we often kind of feel compelled, like we have to move, like we're supposed to move, like we're always supposed to be advancing. But really, if we're going to be martial artists and if we are going to honor this idea of desert island jiu-jitsu, we want to move as little as possible. That way we can serve our energy, our resources, while our partner is burning up theirs. And you do that on a long enough timeline, and you win. So my challenge to you in training tonight is to see how little you can move and still achieve your goals. And if you do try to move as little as humanly possible, you will be able to roll longer and you will get submitted far less. So let me know how this goes. It's been a lifeline for me through my training, and I hope the same for you. Give me some feedback and let me know if this was actionable for you. And if anything didn't make sense, reach out and I'll elaborate. So I wish you well. Happy training. Stop moving.